Saturday soccer from Fitzpatrick Stadium. Tonight, it's a rematch of the season opener as the Portland Hearts of Pine host the New York Cosmos. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. Alongside Renee Washington, I'm Philip Galati. Tonight's broadcast. Mentioned earlier that the first match of the season between these two teams ended in a 3-1 win for Portland over New York. But since then, Renee, two very different tales.
That game itself was very unique. To start off the season, for Portland to have the better possession, but less shots than New York, and win that game. The Cosmos did feel like they played well in addition to that game, feeling like it was their best game of the season, but Portland was just more clinical in the final third. But since then, a 4-game winless streak for Portland and a 3-game unbeaten streak for the Cosmos. So very different as to how they've come out of that March 14th contest.
So a chance for Portland to right the ship tonight, get their second win of the campaign, as the Cosmos look to make it 4 in a row unbeaten with their first road points of the season. We'll step aside for now, starting lineups and kickoff from a sold-out Fitzpatrick Stadium when we return.
We move differently here, not in a rush, but in rhythm. We rise with the tide, cook with our hands, and speak when it matters. We pass on what's felt more than said. We laugh by firelight and stop to notice what others once saw. Every moment here means more because nothing is taken for granted. This is Maine, rooted in time, forged by nature.
You might think it's easier to start tomorrow, or next week, or next year. But at Maine Health, we believe your best self starts today. Our local programs and care teams are here to educate and motivate healthy choices and habits, while nationally renowned specialists provide you with leading-edge treatments and personalized care options. We're always on your team, in your corner, and by your side. That's health and care in harmony.
Every save I make matters to my team. Now, those saves matter in a bigger way.
For every save made by a Hearts of Pine goalkeeper, Kennebec Savings Bank donates $100 to youth soccer programs right here in Maine. It's a promise to invest in confidence, leadership, and access for the next generation of players. At Kennebec Savings Bank, we believe in the power of community and the impact of every single save.
Most homeowners have it somewhere in their house. It's that one bad window. It's drafty, or maybe it sticks or leaks. You'd love to replace it, but think, no company is coming out for just one lousy window. And truthfully, most companies won't. But we're Renewal by Andersen, and we'll replace just one window. Call Renewal by Andersen today for a free window and door diagnosis. 207-804-4500.
Kicking off the weekend in USL League One from New England, Portland and New York face off for the second time this season. Alongside Renee Washington, I'm Philip Galati as we take a look at the starting lineups first for the host and head coach Bobby Murphy.
So for Bobby Murphy's group coming out in a 4-4-2, they have made a trio of changes to their starting 11 since their last league game. And you look at Emiliano Terzaghi up top, Mateo Kidd, and team captain Mikey Lopez getting the start in the midfield. They're replacing Diogo Barbosa, Titus Washington, and Abubakar Kamara, and then Hunter Morris in net for the home side.
Hunter Morris voted the club MVP last year. As for New York, a 3 at the back formation for head coach Davide Corti.
With a 3-5-2 to start, they just have a couple of changes, and it's bringing in Massimo Morabito and Davy Mason in the midfield, and they're coming in for Davide Materazzi as well as Tino Puentes. And then also you're seeing Stefani in net for this group, and Tristan Stefani anchoring this back unit.
Stefani, a New England Revolution Academy graduate, a native of Norfolk, Massachusetts, has once again a familiar sight in USL League One, a sold-out Fitzpatrick Stadium, flags waving, the smoke billowing, Portland in the orange for the first time this year, New York in the iconic green that stretches back decades in the American soccer landscape. Deafening noise in New England as we are underway.
Not only is the crowd bringing the noise, these jerseys are loud, very colorful across the pitch, and also just the field itself. You just see the green and orange combo in itself is quite a matchup for a soccer contest.
Well, hopefully the referee has his contacts in. Not the easiest job in the world for Carlos Rodriguez tonight, the man with the whistle. Right, linking up play early. As we take a look at the keys to the game tonight in the rematch.
Starting with Portland, and they're already trying to do this to start this game. It's the break lines of pressure. They feel like they have to do a better job of getting around the edge, whether off the dribble or in passes, to find those gaps. And then for the New York Cosmos, just wanted to be more disciplined, especially to stay organized defensively. This team, top of the league in scoring, also top of the league in terms of worst, in terms of how many goals they've given up. So they want to do a better job, not chasing, better communication and sliding in their defensive shape.
As far as the availability for the players tonight, the injury report brought to you by Maine Health. A number of players on both sides still getting back to full fitness as we enter the month of May.
I think that's a big part, that's a massive differentiator factor from the first game as well. There's been so many injuries for both of these sides, and I know the coaches say it, you can't make excuses. Injuries are part of the game, but it does change the makeup of your team. Tactically, the personnel, who's on the pitch. So although they've already played each other, there are still some aspects of unknown because there is so much that's different from that mid-March meeting.
Well, that's exactly what head coach Bobby Murphy told us earlier this week for Portland. They wanted to make a lot of changes after last year, their first year in USL League One, where they managed to not only get to the playoffs, but win their first game against Chattanooga on the road. But a lot of those new players still working their way up to be able to play a full 90. And so Coach Murphy saying, we're done making excuses. He has to rely on his wealth of experience on the sidelines to find new solutions. One of them is Josh Drack, as he looks for Ollie right in behind and the passing on the same wavelength.
And I enjoyed just the honesty from Coach Bobby there, being able to share, listen, I had to take ownership on myself of how I can help this team be better.
Davide Corti in his first season with the New York Cosmos. Can we mention the defensive woes for this team that has no problem finding the back of the net, but as an Italian, not having a strong defense is something that irks him.
And I think that's such a big difference.
Check of the flag, and it will go up against Emiliano Terzaghi.
Had a feeling there that he was in a bit of an offside position, a little too much open real estate on that run, but this is what for Portland they're looking to try to do, as head coach Bobby Murphy has stressed, looking to get in behind, not always just over-possessing in front.
Bobby Murphy, who in his playing days featured for what is now Southern New Hampshire, also an assistant coach at Plymouth State, is now calling Portland home. Kamara in the foot race. He'll lose out. Davey Mason across the cover. As once again, Stefani goes direct, and that is exactly what New York want to do, try and stretch this field.
Well, that's the thing that I actually wanted to hit on before the offside call against Emiliano Terzaghi is these are very different teams. It's a high-scoring but also high-conceding Cosmos team, whereas for Portland, they don't really do a lot of scoring with 4 goals on league play. 3 of them that came in that March 14th meeting, but also they don't give up a ton of goals. They typically are in games, so I think it's very different that the Cosmos like to take more chances, get forward, which often can leave them susceptible, especially in transition.
Chavez with a second bite of the apple after his clearance was blocked, now settled by JT Kamara. Decisive ball through with too much heat on it.
And the one thing about this Portland group, especially being at home, and you can hear it, you can see it, you can feel it, the vibes when they're at home, the community really rallies around this group. I mean, you've got all around the pitch, so many fans, so much that's just exciting for them to attend, and you expect for Portland to kind of be shot out of a cannon anytime they get back at home, especially after a stretch like this where they're seeking a win.
The last 2 games at home, a draw against Knoxville, and then a draw against FC Naples, the 2 top teams in USL League One right now. And yes, there may be frustration for not getting all 3 points, but still, that is a positive result against some very stiff competition, especially, as you mentioned, with players coming back to 100%.
That's the key in terms of managing expectations, just being really realistic in that sense, because you have to have the balance. You don't want to just wait, and I know head coach Bobby Murphy mentioned that. You're not just waiting for guys to get back, but you also know during this time you're building the foundations of what this season could look like.
Morabito. Cosmos trying to stretch things a little bit. Holt. Donka. Flicked along by Mason, and Kofi can't turn the angle.
The Cosmos just really weathered the storm at the first 5 minutes that Portland brought, and now you see them opening the game up, getting some width and shape of their own to sustain possession.
Mason to the byline, heavy touch. Enough contact in the end to put him off his stride by Mo Mohammed. Hunter Morris named the club MVP last year by the staff and his teammates. Played all 30 matches. Number of standout saves, especially down the stretch of the regular season. Terzaghi tries to stretch his legs. First 2 at those, Jordan Chavez.
For both teams and looking every once in a while to just play a bit more direct. And I think in the early goings of a game, there's nothing wrong with that because you want to see if you can catch your opponent flat. Terzaghi had the near chance, was called offside earlier in this, but take the opportunity if you can to get your head up and try to find your striker making those deeper runs in behind.
And Renee, this is to be expected, especially with how these teams play. It's likely going to be a very back and forth and open game, and that favors a dribbler like Christian Kofi. Kofi still on the hunt for his first goal contribution of the campaign. So too is Emiliano Terzaghi. Ollie Wright brings the crowd to their feet. Here's JT Kamara! Right down the middle, and Stefani will fall on top of it.
JT Kamara immediately gives the thumbs up. Have to be encouraged by this build-up. Great numbers and shape for Portland, and well done. Terzaghi makes the extra pass out wide to right, and just a heads up on the quick switch to find JT Kamara. And you look there, that shot going through the legs, and that's a tough one for keepers to handle. But well done there by Tristan Stefani to see that one in.
Kamara with 1 assist on the campaign. Scored 6 times for the club last year. Added 4 assists to that tally as well. Just 23 years of age, got that assist in the season opener against New York. Foul called at midfield, right in front of the 4th official, and Michel Pounandram will have to wait to restart. It's Massimo Morabito, who is helped back to his feet. especially with the transitional nature of this game, there's going to be a lot of 50-50 challenges, a lot of physicality in clashes like that.
And that's the thing, you just have to be very disciplined to get compact early and get your defense in shape, because both teams do like to get out in transition, push the pace, and get forward. And it's really important to make sure defensively, as soon as you lose it, you don't have a second to shut off. You immediately have to get yourself organized, get behind the ball, and delay.
Kamara on the overlap. Muhammad continued his run. Kamara looking for that end product, and fairly easy to deal with that one.
JT Kamara, a player I know that, as head coach Bobby Murphy speaks on his abilities in those wide spaces, we've seen them on display. It's 1v1, looking to get around defenders, but also awareness on that last shot, as we saw of his, of picking and choosing his spots.
Kamara once again, looking for the lane. What a strike that is! JT Kamara unleashing an unstoppable rocket into the upper 90. Barely 10 minutes gone, and Portland strike first.
We were just highlighting the playmaking ability of JT Kamara off the dribble to create space for himself. Ball comes out wide, similar copy-paste to what he saw in his first shot of the game, but this time puts a lot of mustard on this one, brings the heat to bury that one, and it's a great shot coming across the top of the box. You get your keeper, Tristan Stefani, sliding, and then you're able to come back across, bury it towards that back post, which for any goalie is so unpredictable to be able to save. Just a heads-up play that not only to pick out the pocket, but to put the pace on it to ensure that that one could not be stopped.
He's done ever so well to keep that underneath the crossbar. You could see it too. The moment he picked up that ball, he only had one thing on his mind: jubilation at Fitzpatrick Stadium as Portland get the start they were dreaming of last night.
It's exactly the start that Portland desperately needed, and JT Kamara has been already in this game, beyond even the goal itself, so active, finding him on that wide flank, cutting back inside. You've seen him passing, you've seen him create a shot, now you've seen him score from that type of movement.
New York looking for the immediate response. Here's Mason, stands it up towards Spengler, headed away before it could reach him. Well, the big talking point for JT Kamara this week, when we had a chance to sit down with head coach Bobby Murphy, 2 words. He said, end product. JT Kamara, one of the best dribblers in this league in his eyes. Last year was so confident on the 1v1, but Coach Murphy said teams have watched the tape. They know how good of a dribbler he is, and very rarely does he get that kind of space. He usually has 2, 3, 4 defenders in front of him. So as soon as he saw that window of daylight, there was only one end product that he had in mind.
Well, that is why for JT Kamara, he's been seeing double teams, triple teams, because of that exact goal, that exact play. And again, copy paste to the previous shot he had. But I think what's working so well for Portland is Emiliano Terzaghi's doing a great job of making the runs to stretch them higher. And then with the combination of Ali Wright, who got the assist to find Kamara, they're able to really have some space in front of them defensively.
Halfway decent ball, well read by the teenager Moravito. Trivella pass forward for Kofi, who has the space. Morse way out of his area and way over the grandstand.
And needed to be off his line for that one, because if he weren't so aggressive and paying attention to anticipate, we might be looking at a 1-1 scoreline that quickly. So in the 3 minutes since that goal was scored by JT Kamara, the Cosmos getting one of their best looks. They haven't been able to get into the final third as often, just twice this game, but now looks like they're turning things up a bit.
That is what can happen with the verticality of this New York side. Just need a couple defenders to step up too high, and then you bypass the block with the Route 1 pass. First corner kick of the night from the feet of Nick Mendonca. This is his 4th start for the club. Two players standing short with Christian Kofi. And they have to back up. The referee is reminding Portland of the rule. The defenders have to stay inside the 18-yard box, even if it's a short corner. And it will be played short. Kofi, return to sender. Two defenders in tow, and off-balance cross is just about kept out by Hunter Morris.
Well, one thing to highlight is we see Hunter Morris playing out of the back off of the save. For the Cosmos specifically, they've had 5 games this season where they've conceded 2 goals or more, and 3 games, 3 losses where they gave up 3 goals. This is a New York team that is, unfortunately for them, used to giving up goals. They're trying to make that less of their narrative. They don't want that to still be the story of this season, so wanting to be better defensively. But they are used to playing in high-scoring 2-2, 3-2 types of games. And with that goal by JT Kamara so early, this is a team that probably is not shaken by that at all.
A yellow card comes out for stopping a promising attack to Jordan Chavez, the center back. Portland looked to be on the break there. They want an advantage. Renee, what do you think?
I actually think that's the right call. I know you see there as he's still pleading his case, not agreeing with that call. But I think for Jordan Chavez defensively, that is the play that if you don't get the ball there, if you don't get the foul, Portland might have a chance to get in behind. So I also am never opposed to professionally and respectfully arguing your case, because you want to make sure that you're at least getting an idea of what the officials are seeing to make sure you can be smarter in how you're playing as well.
Playing advantage as a referee, one of the harder things to do. And the rule was changed a few years ago in terms of stopping a promising attack. A yellow card for unsporting behavior. Kofi leaving. No dice. Spengler did enough to recover it, but only for a moment.
The Cosmos, they are playing with a little bit more tempo since conceding that goal. You see a lot of their passes, a lot of their ideas, almost too quick for them to even get on the other end of it. So while the idea of playing quick is smart to make sure you can unbalance Portland and find those open gaps to play into, they want to make sure they need to make sure they're on the same page to keep possession, so they're not running the ball too heavy on their touches or passes.
Bobby Murphy, right off his bench, had something important to say. Very animated coach in this league.
Well, when you're instilling in your team the identity and
That's a great pass through, challenge made. Right pops right back up. Oh my goodness! Ollie Wright, are you serious? That's why you play to the whistle. Wouldn't be stopped by a challenging defender. Instead, it's an expertly placed chip for 2-0.
what a start for Portland. And you look at this play in the build-up. Well done. It's JT Kamara, actually, who finds Ollie Wright this time, springs him forward, and then just the heads-up awareness. The chip is on and just does enough to get it to go over the head of Tristan Stefani, drop into the net, and Ollie Wright and JT Kamara, each of them have now connected on both goals. Each of them have scored a goal, and that is how you need your playmakers. I know we highlighted Wright, but Kamara, another one of those key playmakers to step up and help your team score goals.
Well, it was a beautiful pass from JT Kamara. Didn't think he was going to get there. Challenge looked like a clean one, but Ollie Wright was barely on the ground for half a second. Got up, stepped up, lifted the ball up, and it's 2-0.
That is the definition of understanding we can all eat, we can all succeed. JT Kamara scores a goal off of the assist from Ali Wright, and then Kamara returns the favor and says, here you go, Ali, I will set you up for a goal yourself. But just a quick movement in transition there. That's well done for Portland to not only score early, but to follow up with an insurance goal shortly after. That's 2 goals within a span of about 9 minutes.
Yellow card tonight presented by the office of Joe Bornstein, and a yellow card shown after that goal to Will Noaker. Remember, Portland only had 4 goals in 6 league games coming into tonight. 3 of them were against New York in the season opener. They scored 1 last week in that draw against FC Naples, the league leaders. As another ball through finds Mateo Kidd, who finds himself offside.
Well, at this rate for Portland, they're hoping they're facing, they need to imagine they're facing, I should say, the Cosmos every game. If you're now having 5 of your 6 goals in league play all against the Cosmos, and it just speaks volumes to their ability for head coach Bobby Murphy and this group to stay resilient, to keep finding ways between injuries, between some changes tactically, to figure out what this team needs to do to be able to get the results they want. So far, execution to a T to be able to get these 2 early goals.
Portland keeping a lot of numbers high off the ball as well. They think it's their throw, and it is. Portland Hearts of Pine is proud to team up with our Dirigo partners. Visit Maine, Maine Health, Hannaford, Springer's Jewelers, and the University of Southern Maine.
Let's not forget, although we talked about Portland getting that 3-1 win and being the better team in terms of execution, both teams have gone opposite in terms of execution since then. The Cosmos executing on a 3-game unbeaten streak, Portland on a 4-game winless streak, yet today, 2-0 Portland lead. You just can't make this up. No matter how much on paper things may seem to be one way, this game is showing us, throw all the paper results and records out the window.
Spengler with the creativity the other way. 5 goals to his name, currently leading USL League One. Second in assists, though, with 3. Excellent pass and defeat of Mo Mohammed for JT Kamara. Looking for shooting space again, and couldn't produce the same spectacular result.
That's been the types of movements we're seeing from JT Kamara, doing a great job of cutting across, that now again, as teammates are making the runs off of him, he's able to cut into that open seam and elects to either take the shot. We've seen 3 shots, 1 that went in, all from that same play, or to make that final pass. The assist to Ali Wright was that.
Great interception by Kidd. Terzaghi. Kamara once again tried to do it all himself. Had teammates around him as Lopez wins it right back. Portland continuing to win the 50-50 ball. Kamara lifting it through, and this one Stefani will claim.
Well, for JT Kamara, he's a player that can create, that has the ability to be so great 1v1, but as you see, also is very comfortable and wants to cut back to his left. So to be on the right side and have the ability to cut across, it's really difficult to defend sometimes.
Kamali Green stepped up right at the right moment. Healthy finding himself offside. New York was really starting to grow into the game until that first goal, and then since then it's really been one-way traffic.
It has been, and to be honest, it doesn't feel like the Cosmos have really settled in. I think that Portland has caught them flat, and I know they've been focusing so much defensively on wanting to be able to be better. I know Davide Corti has mentioned for as the head coach and for this group that they need to be more organized, more disciplined defensively, yet you're now down 2-0. So sometimes it is that hard balance of what you're focusing on, trying to execute the game, and one mistake and it can snowball from there.
The USL on the CBS Sports Network continues on May 13th with a primetime showdown. Newcomer AC Boise takes on high-flying FC Naples at 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, May 13th. Catch all the action on the CBS Sports Network. Kid trying to bring it down. Well done by Justin Milovanov to win the throw, the Brooklyn native. As now the Cosmos look to break. Mason with room to roam. Looking to pull it back. It's Ajmir Spengler blocked in front. Nearly the lifeline. Hart's trying to go the other direction. Wright with work to do, does ever so well to bring it down.
The Cosmos, that was their first chance. They found Davey Mason making that wide run to get some numbers into a dangerous position. But they've just been defending so much this game, they haven't even been able to get their playmakers, their offense going, because the ball has been in this portion of the field with Portland controlling possession, controlling the attack, and honestly setting the tempo early and keeping their foot on the gas often.
Mateo Kidd will take the corner kick. Remember, in that earlier meeting this year, all the goals came in the second half. Kidd with a decent delivery, headed away. Ball's right back to him, appeals for offside. Managed to get back in time.
That's a great point you mentioned, because we don't have to wait until the 56-minute mark to get the first goal. 4 goals in the second half, and now we're already seeing high-scoring start for Portland with 2 to kick off this game.
Cosmos once again struggling to clear their lines. Really, unless it's been on the counter, New York have been unable to build through midfield. What do they change, Renee?
Yeah, I think right now it's just been they need to make the extra pass. I mean, you look at that play by Davey Mason that he was able to get the service across the box. It was making the extra wide pass. I think at times it's been a little too direct for them. They haven't had numbers. They haven't had options to keep it.
Whistle sounded after the challenge by Justin Milovanov. Kamara wants to throw it. A little bit of confusion, but it will be a throw-in. Kidd drops the shoulder. Kamara swung it in, and again, Stefani doing well to get off his line. Didn't have much of a chance on either of those 2 goals. Still yet to post his first clean sheet this season, Tristan Stefani.
Well, for the Cosmos, they've done some tinkering. They've been trying to figure out how their team shows best. Is it a 3-back? Is it a 5-back? Also, how can they get their midfield more involved to build through them? And unfortunately, in a game like this, you don't have a chance to blink. You're chasing, you're defending, you're getting the ball in the back of your nets so much that you never get a chance to settle into your own identity in this game.
Terzaghi will try it himself. Rebound falls to Ollie Wright. Kamara to his right. Appeals for handball, referee right there, and not interested. In real time, it was awfully quick. It didn't look like there was a ton in it.
Yeah, I just think anytime the ball is even near the arm, why not try to call for the handball?
Danka defending with all his might. Take another look at it.
You look here, JC Kamara looking to play this one across, just kind of free. Oh, wow. And you could also see the movement there too.
So this is tough. because when you're looking at handball, there's a couple things to consider. Is the body unnaturally bigger? Maybe. It's by his side, but it's not tied to his torso. Still bouncing around, Drac trying to stay with it. Terzaghi goes down, and the flag goes up. Well, that likely would have been a penalty if it wasn't for offside.
That's 2 back-to-back plays in a matter of seconds that Portland had the opportunity to call for a penalty kick and did not get rewarded one. A handball, a foul, and the offside negates it. But to your point, handball is more about it just hitting the hand. There's other factors of whether or not it is truly a handball.
It looked like the arm was moving away from the ball as it came toward him. Didn't have a lot of time to react either. I think that might be the right call, but you can understand the frustration. Kid keeps his footing. Ollie Wright stopping the ball on a dime. Portland had so much time on the ball in the final third. Drac whipping it in and over the traffic.
Listen, if I'm Portland, I'm still contesting that call, thinking it should be a handball, but I'm also knowing that right now, the way they are playing, so much is going right for Portland. The bounce, the possession, and just the overall way they've been really imposing their will on the Cosmos so far this game. So why not argue the calls in your favor when you've already seen so much going in your favor in this game?
Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. 31st minute from Fitzpatrick Stadium. Phil Kalani, Renee Washington with you. Goals from JT Kamara in the 10th and Ollie Wright in the 18th to separate the Hearts of Pine and the Cosmos.
Well, in terms of execution, that is also well done to know that you went from a 0-0 game to an 8 minutes, a 2-0 game, and just continued to strike while the iron's hot. I always say it's so important, especially in soccer, when you have momentum, when you're creating shots and chances to put one away. And for Portland, they put 2 away. So just remarkable of being able to start this game off strong on the front foot. From the opening whistle, though, we saw the aggression they brought and the energy to set the tone early.
New York have had a couple chances. Another chance to craft one now, if not for the flag. Been 2 very high lines so far in this game.
Yes, and for the Cosmos, they haven't been able to figure out how to work in behind. I know they've had a couple of heavy passes, an offside call like that one that's really stifled any chance forward. But I think, again, this is why they've been focusing on, can we play to the midfield? Can we make the extra wide pass to link play to get numbers forward? Because sometimes it's just too straight and direct, and it's not giving time to stay on side, but also to even have options to build through.
Zadi couldn't keep hold of it. Spangler goes down, holding his face, and that will likely be at least a yellow card, and it is. It is Josh Drac with the errant elbow. New York want further punishment for it, and any sort of upper body contact like that is always a talking point.
We look here as Josh Drac is going to pressure that right arm, definitely catches the face of Spangler, kind of grabs onto him a little bit there, but also some elbow action too, so a very hard hit to the face, and the card, the foul, that is the right call there.
Serious foul play is the textbook definition for a red card in that case. I don't think it crosses that barrier.
No, I think the yellow card is substantial enough.
So at first for Portland, Josh Drac, the guilty party. 2 yellow cards for New York thus far. Zadi going over. Spengler wanted the call, didn't get it.
Well, that possession's a great example of what the Cosmos are struggling with right now. You've got your forwards up higher, 2v about 6, that you're outnumbered, -4. Your midfielders, there's too big of a gap between the forward line and the midfielders. But not only is it the spacing, it's just the lack of movement. And I know that's something that for head coach Cortez mentioned, just wanting to keep them moving, actively involved, to find the ball so you can play off your forwards and have players running underneath or overlapping to join them.
Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Final 10 minutes or so of regulation. Renee, if you're in the New York locker room at halftime, what's the message?
That you got a punch to the gut. You did not come out ready to play. You took the trip up north and did not show up in this first 20 minutes. And unfortunately, it's taken them too long to get going. And now you're down 2-0. Again, this team has focused so much on the defensive side of the discipline, the organization, the communication. And I think they were able to get caught flat yet again today. So if I'm in that locker room saying, let's go out the next half and play this like it's 0-0, play with the urgency and the intensity, because in a 2-0 scoreline, we do know very dangerous. One goal opens us wide up to really bring yourselves back into it. So just focusing on the next 45 to get that one goal and see and how you can go from there.
Morabito wins the knockdown. Spengler on the turn, shrugs off one defender with ease, clipping it through. Too heavy. Once again, Ajmi Spengler, the conduit of this New York attack. The vision is there, it's just the execution.
But at least for that play for the Cosmos, they had 5 players getting into the attack. Spengler had some options. Unfortunately, the final pass, just not sure what the idea there was, but you at least had players in the ballpark and vicinity to try to find just that final third execution, which is an Achilles heel for a lot of teams across the league, of making sure you're able to be more refined and patient to be composed in those spaces.
Teo Kidd, slow to carry on. Previously played under head coach Bobby Murphy a couple seasons ago, St. Louis's second team. 10 goals and 41 appearances for the club across 2 campaigns. Still yet to open his USL League One account in what is tonight his 3rd start. Already right back into the swing of things, sets it short. Sent long towards Terzaghi, second ball will fall kindly to Kunajaran. Muhammad on the underlap. Kamara opens up. Now Mo Muhammad. 2 defenders in front of him, somehow gets it through. Kamara again, turning provider, and once again JT Kamara is seeing those passing lanes and getting the passes off quickly. Just the speed needs the adjustment. That's a late sliding challenge. The whistle will sound.
Well, Portland just continues to be kind of a step ahead. It feels like everything they're doing in terms of, especially offensively, the off-ball movement, the runs, the ideas, have been a lot more cohesive. And then defensively, they just aren't giving the Cosmos an ounce of space. Most times as New York is trying to build up, they're doing a good job of cutting passing lanes. I mean, that's a prime example. As I'm saying it, it is literally happening. To see Kamali Green step into that passing lane. So just anticipating better, reading the game quicker, and then through that being able to execute off of it.
More struggle playing out of the back for New York. Whistle will sound. It'll be Cosmos' ball. Donka is down. Poonanjaran gets the admonishment. again, just playing out of the back has been the struggle for New York.
You see there quite the collision between actually 3 players, but fortunately for Nick McNaughton, he is okay, up, fine, moving just well. But yeah, that's been the struggle for the Cosmos so far. They just haven't been able to string together enough passes to build forward. They've been turning it over so quickly that they're just back chasing and defending again. And you can't play an entire game chasing. It just gets exhausting after a while, and it does make it difficult for you to get any sort of rhythm and confidence going.
Kamara once again dribbling inside. Has his pass picked away. Only for a little while. Goes over after the hard challenge. Play goes on. Drac will try his luck and pull it well wide.
JT Kamara just again showing the 1v1 flair, the footwork, and being able to just work through that to set up for Josh Drac to get that final chance. Unfortunately, he hooked it too much on the shot, but right now Portland just continues having their way. A lot of open green they've been able to exploit and get into.
Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
These fans got some great seats to see the action today. I mean, they have not stopped. I had to give them so much credit because not only has Portland been consistent on the field, but their fan base has been consistent. The band, the crowd being into it, and that's special when you get that support of that 12-man type of a vibe with your fan base.
Well, head coach Bobby Murphy told us earlier this week a big emphasis for Portland, both last year and this year, was giving back to the community. They had their inaugural Gala for Good last week. They raised over 6 figures for charity. They put that right back into the community. A couple players this week went to Maine Health Children's Hospital to spend time with some of the kids there. Really is something special they're building up in New England. Kamara, lovely idea. May fall for Mateo Kidd. Looked like the clearance went off his arm, and it did.
The Cosmos just scrambling defensively, doing all they can to get numbers behind the ball and break up to disrupt the chances forward for Portland. But here we go again, deja vu. A good defensive possession by their back line, and they're now chasing, defending yet again.
Possession about 60% in favor of Portland. It feels like more than that, especially in the final third.
Definitely does, actually. It's pretty surprising.
Gunandron with the intercept. Ollie Wright on the slide rule ball. Takes him a little wider than he was expecting. Appealed for handball, no chance. Mikey Lopez on the curler. Not a million miles away.
The captain stepping up with a good shot from distance, and heads up play to be able to take this shot first time. As you look at the layoff, a lot of open space. Oftentimes players might try to take the extra touch, work around a defender, but Mikey Lopez does a good job there just hooking that one first time. That had some potential to dip down under the crossbar.
That the 8th shot of the first half for the Hearts. And again, when you talk about the offensive output that has been lacking in recent weeks, this is a statement from them. Need to carry it on in the second half, though. Still a few minutes in the first.
Well, it's a good thing you bring up the shots because they're not winning 2-0 off of ugly plays or just luck. They have been creating. The 8 shots, 3 on target. They've been able to generate a number of final third entries, having a better possession. They are truly doing a good job of breaking down the Cosmos defensively, and they're now in the driver's seat of this game as a result of it. So those goals are because of the hard work, the creativity, the playmaking ability, and things looking like they're really starting to click, to be honest, for Portland.
That's what head coach Bobby Murphy told us earlier this week. They mentioned shoring things up defensively, replacing Nathan Messer and what he did for this club last year at left back. But a lot of those replacements, it took time to learn the Portland style of play. which is natural with any team, you know. You have to learn how to play under a new head coach, in a new system, in a new league. And it was going to take a few weeks for things to take effect, and now Portland maybe turning the corner that head coach Bobby Murphy has been looking for the last few weeks. This is Mo Mohammed. He's got some space and wants to go for goal and earns a corner kick.
People underestimate the transition period of, as you're changing systems, tactics, asking more of players to step up into roles, how long it can take. That tie in the last outing against FC Naples absolutely was in itself a good, solid result for them. They've been putting together some ties, they've been putting together some good results, just haven't been able to get that win. But today, JT Kamara and this Portland group looks hungry for that victory.
Kamara on the corner, and Ollie Wright arriving! It didn't look like it had a chance at first, and then right at the end, Kamali Green was the one that hit it.
That definitely was a great look to just drive it low and a heads-up play with all that traffic in front of Stefani to just drive that one low. You can't see that ball coming through until it's nearly being put away in the net.
Kamara looking for his same patch of grass once again. Every time he picks up the ball, he wants to go right toward the penalty arc. And to his credit, New York have been backing off him a little bit.
They have been, and they've also been throwing one defender at him oftentimes instead of having a quicker help defender. So once he gets past that first defender, there's been some open space for him to be able to attack afterwards. I think if I'm the Cosmos, and for JT Kamara specifically, you know he's trying to cut inside often to get to his left foot. Keep him out wide. Force him out wide towards the sideline versus allowing him to come back in centrally, because as soon as he does that, it really is unbalancing them defensively. And I think that's actually an area they can talk about at halftime. Let's minimize how much he's dribbling across the grain, because it's just giving players like Ollie Wright and Emiliano Terzaghi and others pockets to run off of.
There's a collision off the ball. And the referee will say it's a Portland kick. Davey Mason is down in some pain.
Davey Mason, unfortunately, has been one of the players for the Cosmos that we have seen doing a good job finding the ball at his feet, getting into wide pockets. Also got the start today, was one of those changes that they had in their starting 11, and you can see what he's been bringing. As you see this play again, a very awkward step, as you see him immediately go down in pain. Very awkward, not only on the step, but the twist as well. And so fortunately, he's back up on his feet, stepping gingerly, but able to walk on his own.
Another whistle goes and another player down. This time it's Emi Terzaghi. Coming to Portland after 5 years with the Richmond Kickers, 3-time the league MVP, 3-time the league Golden Boot winner. Tonight's just his second start for his new club.
Such a great addition to a team that offensively has been trying to figure things out, and to have someone that has the experience, the pedigree, and knows what it takes to be very decisive and dynamic, especially around the goal. A sign of some positive things to come still for this Portland side.
Final few seconds as the first half will wind to a close. And maybe one last chance for Portland. Here is Emi Terzaghi. Blocked by Holt, popped straight up. He shrugged off it. Is there time to recycle it? Kamara will certainly try. Pass it out of bounds.
And although they weren't able to get that shot through, just the interchanging up top of their front line.
A halftime whistle sounds as Portland have been dominant on all fronts. JT Kamara with a contender for goal of the week in the 10th minute. Ollie Wright might be able to add his name to that list too with his chip in the 18th. Renee, your thoughts?
Portland came out shooting, out pressuring, out working the Cosmos, set the tone early and never looked back. And their big playmakers in Kamara and Wright stepped up for them to put two away, but you have to feel good if you're Portland about how you're going into this halftime.
So that will bring the first 45 minutes to a close. The Dirigo Union has been loud all night long, and why not? After a treat of a first half for the home faithful. Still work to do, and the second 45 coming up in just a little bit.
This is the boot that started it all. When you think of LL Bean, you think of the Bean Boot. LL, our founder, was an avid hunter and fisherman. He wanted to develop something that could keep his feet warm and dry. Since 1912, 113 years ago, the Bean Boots are still handmade right here in Maine. We have so many variations of the original Bean Boot. We literally have a Bean Boot for everyone, every type of style.
This spring, invest in your nest with the County Federal Credit Union. Your home has grown in value season after season. With the county's 10-10 Home Equity Line of Credit, you can borrow up to your credit limit over 10 years with interest-only payments over those 10 years, 10-10. And then you can stop and smell the roses, soak up the sun, and invest in your nest. The 10-10 Home Equity Line of Credit, the County Federal Credit Union, countyfcu.org.
Partnership means a lot of things in this business, and that's the most important thing, is being in a business relationship with someone that you trust, and that's what Mimic does. We want to make sure that everyone is getting exactly what they need, and we want it to be a long-term relationship. At Mimic, we want to lower their total cost of risk, and we want to get those employees back to work whenever we can. At Mimic, we make workers' comp work better.
Welcome back to Nothing at the Break. Halftime presented by Hannaford. As we toss it over to Dan Lucas and what's new around the USL.
It is halftime in League One. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio. Let's take a look at some of the League One headlines. Corpus Christi has not won a match yet in league play, but a very big opening USL Cup win over Chattanooga Red Wolves. That 1-0 victory is the first ever win for Corpus Christi. Even better, it lands Corpus atop Group 3 after one match. In Group 4 of the Cup, Union Omaha defeated Indy 11 2-1. Just over a month ago, Omaha traveled to Indy and knocked the championship club out of the U.S. Open Cup. And in Group 3, One Knoxville took the extra point from FC Tulsa in penalty kicks thanks to 3 PK saves by goalkeeper Johan Garave. You don't want to face One Knox in PKs right now. 3 straight penalty kick shootouts, including wins over DC United and Asheville City to advance in the U.S. Open Cup. Upcoming USL national broadcast, May 13th, AC Boise and FC Naples. USL Cup play on the 16th with Richmond Kickers in Charleston, and Rhode Island hosts Brooklyn on the 23rd. All 3 matches are on CBS Sports Network. Those are the USL headlines. We're getting closer to the second half. Let's get you back out to your match.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Allagash White for you. Can I get you a beer?
Yeah.
Let me give you a minute. What you thinking? Choose one.
I'll go for Allagash White, too.
Nice. That's my go-to.
Start your night with Allagash White.
Welcome back. Phil Kalani, Renee Washington with you. 2-0 in this match, but plenty of USL League One action on the way tonight as we take a look at some of the other games. Look at some more stuff after the break, but for now, we step aside one more time here at Fitzpatrick Stadium.
With the field for World Cup 2026 now set, the USL can enjoy its place in the countdown to history. Never before has an active USL player taken part in a World Cup, until now. For the past 2.5 years, more than 30 players from USL Championship and League One battled through World Cup qualifying. This summer, 6 of them have a chance to hit the field for their respective country. Miami FC teammates Eloy Rom and Jurgen Locadia made history, helping Curacao qualify for the World Cup for the first time ever. Curacao will face Germany, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador in group play. And for the first time since 1974, Haiti will take part in the World Cup, following a very unique road through qualifying. 4 championship players, Duke Lacroix and Garvin Matusala of Colorado Springs, Delence Pierre from FC Tulsa, and Carl Sente from New Mexico United, led Haiti through qualifying without playing a home match. Now the Haitian team faces a tough group at the World Cup with matches against Brazil, Morocco, and Scotland. But while World Cup qualifying owned the spotlight in late March, several USL players took part on U.S. youth national teams, also on the world stage. Colton Swan of Charleston Battery scored a goal for the U.S. Under-20 team against Argentina in Argentina. Orange County SC's Tyson Espy played for the under-17 team in Paraguay. And the U.S. under-18 team played in Portugal, featuring Ramiz Hamuda from Birmingham Legion, Brandon Days of Louisville City, and Jameer Johnson from Orange County SC.
We love it here. Here is the smell of fresh bread, good food at the table, a familiar face behind the counter, where we pick up right where we left off. Right here is where all the good happens, because here is home.
We move differently here, not in a rush, but in rhythm. We rise with the tide, cook with our hands, and speak when it matters. We pass on what's felt more than said. We laugh by firelight and stop to notice what others once saw. Every moment here means more because nothing is taken for granted. This is Maine, rooted in time, forged by nature.
I'm David Libby, President and CEO of Town & Country Federal Credit Union. At Town & Country, we work hard to make a difference every day. From providing a first auto loan to that young adult just starting out, or making the dream of home ownership a reality with a mortgage offering closing costs well below nearly every other local lender, or a Visa credit card with a great rate. Town & Country Federal Credit Union is local people helping local people. Let us help you.
An action-packed first half at a sold-out Fitzpatrick Stadium. 2-0 in favor of the host between the Portland Hearts of Pine and the New York Cosmos as we take a look at how it all went down. And Renee, it was
for the next 45.
Well, this matchup really, it's kind of like that baking soda volcano, the third grade science fair.
Oh, wow, I remember that.
Right?
We
At
all
1
did that.
second,
Everyone
just completely explodes.
I don't care where you're from, at some point you had to do the baking soda volcano science experiment. That is like a pinnacle of elementary school education, apparently, in the United States. But it does feel like that is a great way to actually explain for Portland what we've seen, because this team has been right there. Again, back-to-back draws in their 2 recent outings, and they've been hanging with the team like SC Naples. They've been showing the product, the quality, but they haven't been able to put together a full 90 minutes. So far, they are 45 minutes in the book of a strong team game.
Well, right here, right now, it is time to start the second half. As Fitzpatrick Stadium start the chant. High spirits here in Maine for now. Still 45 minutes to go. New York had their chances, and if they get one, there's no telling how this game could finish.
That's the reality. This is a team that has the ability to score in waves. A goal to up to 3 goals if they're able to score. We've seen them have multiple games conceding multiple goals, but also multiple games scoring multiple goals. So this one far from over, just like it was an 8-minute span for Portland. Don't be surprised that for the other side, they're going to come out for the Cosmos firing, trying to see if they can get that first.
If you're just joining us, Philip Galati, Renee Washington with you. Portland on the right side of your screen in the orange, New York in the green. Action-packed Saturday in USL League One. Portland trying to climb up the table. Came into tonight 1 point behind the Cosmos. Currently sit in 8th. New York yet to record their first point on the road, but did come into this match on a 3-game unbeaten run.
That's the thing, they've been great at home. They've been able to do a good job of getting results in general in terms of draws, but when you look at what the Cosmos have been doing, it just felt like at some point that things might break through one way or the other. You cannot go so long conceding the high volume of goals, but also as a team that's scoring a high volume, it's like you noticed for this team, they were going to go one direction or the other of either having those games that they've been conceding high goals, able to get the draw, come back to bite them, or the high volume of goals they score be something that can separate them to go on a nice winning streak of their own. But right now, 45 minutes in, feels like it's gone the latter, unfortunately, for them.
Donka, no way through just yet. We did see a lot of action on that left channel in the first half for New York, specifically with Davy Mason, Christian Kofi as well, sometimes drifting into that side of things.
That's where they've been able to find success through Davy Masons. I would think for them, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. Keep going down that left flank, keep finding those pockets, and see if it can also help get the rest of your game throughout the field going.
Holtz has stepped way up. Him and Jordan Chavez, the 2 center back pairing, and head coach Davide Corti spoke to us earlier this week about the importance of communication from the 2 center halves with the midfielders, when to drop, when to facilitate that build-up play. Maybe in the second half, the fullbacks will do it themselves. Drac, upended. It's his throw. Chavez won the duel.
Well, unlike Portland, who needs to just continue doing what they've been doing the entire game, for the Cosmos had to make a tweak, and maybe they just to be a little bit more aggressive to get numbers forward, especially building out of the back.
Sent away for now. Molly Green trying to put it right back in the mix here now. Ashmere Spengler the other way. They do find that space on the far side. Here's Davy Mason. Guinzotti checking 2. Bounces back for Mason. In front. Just a toe poke there at first for Portland. Now Kamara. Wright is screaming for it. Kamara will find him. Ollie Wright is onside. Looking for a second. Cuts it back. Ollie Wright! As if there was any doubt. The second he picked up the ball, only one place it would end up. Portland have 3, Wright has 2, Fitzpatrick Stadium is bumping.
In transition, Portland able to get forward. Who else? JT Kamara to find who other than Ollie Wright for the job. And Ollie Wright working 1v1 here, a quick cut back to be able to open up space there. Look at the composure to be able to slow down, a quick change of pace, quick change of direction to to work around Will Noecker there, able to put that one away, and he is the right man for the job when you need another goal. A brace on the day for Ollie Wright, an assist as well, involved in all 3 goals, and so is his counterpart, JT Kamara.
And it's almost a carbon copy of that second goal, the way that Kamara checks to the far right channel, switches the point of attack immediately. Funny enough, it was Cosmos head coach Davide Corti who spoke about the importance of switching the point of attack for his side coming into this match, but it's Portland who are seeing so much space when they change the flanks.
The vision and awareness has been so consistently strong for Portland. For JT Kamara to see that option, he had some players in a closer proximity, but the best option was Ollie Wright on the far side. Not only did he see it, but he made sure the pass reached him. It's amazing, though, when you look at just the way that all 3 goals happened for Portland. All 3 goals from right to left. These are the 2 players for Portland that are playing on the wide flanks. It's not their 2 central players combining. It is being able to play the ball out wide, slide New York defensively so that everybody's getting caught ball side, ball watching, and then the quick switch of the point of attack is on. And I've seen that so effective over the years in soccer, but it's not easy to execute that once, let alone 3 times to be able to finish.
Head coach Bobby Murphy spoke to us at length about Ollie Wright earlier this week. Said he was a great kid, smiles all the time, always there for people, and has embraced this community as his second home. It's a long way from his hometown of London. He came up through the Fulham, Brentford, and Queen's Park Rangers academies. And Coach Bobby Murphy says Ollie Wright has earned all the plaudits for what he does on the pitch, but off the pitch, he's a fixture of this community. He's taken up bowling in recent weeks, apparently can hit 200 pins with relative ease, and can find the side netting like no one else. And here he is again, and here's JT Kamara again, right with him on a hat trick. Kamara has the wheels, but doesn't have the pass.
Oh, and Ollie Wright was essentially making the run. Oh, it's not over yet.
Right back for Kamara. Punanjaran. Wright wanted it as he still watches on and laments. He did score a hat trick here last year. He's got 3 goals all year thus far, including the 2 tonight. Drack stumbling, still rolling.
That's the thing for Ollie Wright to come in with a goal and assist in league play. For this team to come in with 4 goals across USL League One, and now you have 3 goals. They have nearly doubled their goal scoring total in this game, but also 6 of their now 7 goals on the season in regular season play against the Cosmos. Again, you just cannot make this up for how Portland's been able to execute against New York.
Nangeron, Kidd, Drack now for Wright. Terzaghi waiting in the area. Work by New York to force the host back. Molly Green steps up. He's out of position now. Morabito. Spengler told to turn. Trying to find that space in behind. Miscommunication, but Kamali Green does recover.
A little bit of an odd play there all the way through, to be honest. This is one of those games for New York, though, that just has been off, it feels like. They haven't looked like themselves as the high-scoring, high-powered offense, but also just really have not been able to get much going.
Kamara, again on the prowl. Lowered the shoulders, but couldn't get the flip-flap move to work out. Spengler got it away. Sliding challenge is a poor one from Ollie Wright. No. He's got enough of the ball. Here's Guenzati the other way to pull one back. Veteran surrounded in the area, almost got the shot away.
Well, another attack for New York where they have 2 players, including Guenzati, attacking against 6 defenders. We've seen that too many times where they just don't have options getting forward, and they're going 2v6. You saw Guenzati looking for options, telling his team, get up, let's go, but just never were able to connect to get forward.
Chavez, the better ball-playing center backs in this league. New York will need to rely on him to get things going.
Well, it's interesting, when you look at the start of the second half, the Cosmos seemed like they were going to push players forward more, being a little more aggressive to get numbers up the pitch, because I know we've talked about it, I'm sure they've seen it too, that they haven't been able to link play and combine to get forward because they just haven't had the numbers. Yet that third goal has come from pressing numbers forward, trying to be more aggressive, and then getting caught in the counterattack for JT Kamara to find Ali Wright.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL access on Tuesday nights. Here's Kofi in behind. Hunter Morse felt the contact of the ball, didn't know where it was, manages to keep it out.
And he sat on it to make the save. Wow, listen, as a goalie, sometimes you have to do whatever it takes to make the save happen. Not always pretty, but that one, it took all bits of Hunter Morse to be able to keep that one from getting past him.
Kid, that'll be a yellow card. It's a good-looking jersey, but I think there was more in that than Mateo Kidd bargained for. It was Justin Milovanov looking for a souvenir.
Yeah, that's not what people mean when they say, I'll give you the shirt off my back. But I do think for New York, they've just been caught in transition, unfortunately, including that third goal, and trying to make sure that for Milanova that they're not caught again flat.
So a change, first of the night, and it is off the New York bench. Nestor Cabrera will come in for Davy Mason. Cabrera will play a little bit more of a central role, it looks like, compared to Davy Mason. So maybe Davide Corti changing how he wants to go forward.
Well, I think that's even what led to the yellow card for Milo Ivanov, to the goals themselves, to the breakdowns that are happening. They do need some support centrally. Even get board numbers to congest the middle of the field. We've seen a number of passes that have been those big switches, diagonal balls for Portland, playing through the middle or just playing straight from one side east to west. So maybe this is just to try to get numbers behind and lessen the damage.
Chavez with the back heel away. Spangler vying for it, but brought down Josh Drack. Haven't seen a lot of set pieces tonight, so curious to see what Portland will draw up here.
Feels like we haven't, I hate to say it, but needed a lot of set pieces. Portland's just been doing so much in the run of play. Of course, they've had a couple of corner kicks they've created, but not a lot in terms of, even with the fouls we've seen around the goal. This is giving Portland a chance they can knock this one into the mix. You've got numbers forward.
Mateo Kidd directing traffic. Gets to get his first goal contribution tonight, his third start. Stands it up with plenty of hang time. And it came off the green shirt last.
Well, just as we were talking about, not enough set pieces. We get not one, but two set pieces. A free kick that leads to the third corner of the contest for Portland. And it's again Kidd that's going to be on the ball. Mateo Kidd, I thought, placed that last one well to at least give his teammates a chance to run onto it. Now need to see if he can do the same here on this corner kick.
Low delivery headed on by Terzaghi. And it did take another touch out for another corner. Seen most of the corners for Portland head toward the back post. Switch to the front post again. Chavez there to meet it. Right, thought about the volley. Instead, will settle and curl for one more corner kick.
Listen, Phil, you said we have not seen a lot of set pieces.
I know, I jinxed it.
And we have now seen 4 total set pieces in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, I'll take the blame on that one.
Jinx, or for Portland, they're saying, hey, let's also manifest maybe another goal or the lottery, or I don't know. But I do think they're okay with this, taking their time, setting things up, running time off the clock, seeing if they can get another goal.
This time it was Guinzotti getting it away. Only as far as Punanjaran gets the inside lane against Kofi. Work to do. This time a throw-in. And it will be, I believe, a quadruple change now for Bobby Murphy. So a number of players will take their well-earned applause. Josh Drack, one of them. Just his second start for his new club. Brought off in place of Lagos Kunga. He himself returning from injury. Just the second appearance of the season. Titus Washington will slot in up top for Remy Terzaghi. Yoga Barbosa in midfield. As well as Jaden Jones-Riley on the back line. Barbosa, the Lisbon native, played for a number of top academies in his home country of Portugal, including Porto, Benfica, and Sporting Lisbon.
For Portland, I think it makes complete sense for head coach Bobby Murphy to get some other guys in. They've been, as we talked about, for both teams dealing with injuries, and this is also an opportunity. It's a 3-0 game. I won't say it's over. I'd never say it's over to that final whistle, but you can feel a little bit more comfortable with now a 3-goal lead versus 2 to also just make sure you don't have to overextend any players. There's no need to play someone the full 90. If you have fresh legs you can bring in.
Free kick in midfield in favor of the visitors. And it's a well-rounded series of changes too. A couple in midfield, one on the back line, one on the front line.
These are guys that also have been starters for Portland. That's something they're still figuring out with the injuries and with just the results not going their way, of the roles, the rotations, the different combinations that work well for them. So an opportunity to see how they can continue to keep the level high and what different look they can bring for Portland on the pitch.
As you mentioned, guys that are fighting for minutes, they're going to be hungry. They want to get out there and get into the swing of the match. They're not going to back down from a 50-50 duel, especially with a guy like Titus Washington up top, who's still looking to find that rhythm he had last year. Washington had 5 goals, 3 assists. He doesn't have one of either yet this year. Head coach Bobby Murphy says he wants to find that rhythm again. Just not taking his chances when he's finding them, but still a nightmare to play against. Even his opponents give Titus Washington his flowers. Jordan Skelton, the 2-time all-first team selection, the captain of the reigning champions, won Knoxville, came up to head coach Bobby Murphy after the game and said, man, I love Titus Washington, but I hate playing against him.
Yes, and listen, something about the last name Washington, no relation to me, of course, but I will say he does a good job of just creating chances, just has had chances that he hasn't been able to finish. And in a game like this, where Portland is scoring, is feeling good, doing a great job, this is also a prime opportunity for a guy like Titus Washington to kind of get through, maybe get that first chance, that first goal that they're seeking. See if you can continue to build some confidence and consistency with this side.
Spengler again, surveying, scanning, short for Mendonca. Now Noaker. Cabrera. Waiting patiently, not a lot of numbers in the box. 2 orange shirts in front of him. Wanted the foul, didn't get it. Noaker to the byline. Keeps this one in play. Right into the hands of Hunter Morse. Portland Hearts and Pine is proud to team up with our Dirigo sponsors. Visit Maine, Maine Health, Hannaford, Springer's Jewelers, and the University of Southern Maine. Again, the Cosmos showing glimpses of what they're capable of and the offensive power they possess. It's just that final pass or two that's been missing. Surprised not to see that ball cut back into the box. A shot from that angle is incredibly difficult.
And that's the thing, they haven't had a ton of opportunities.
Oh, Muhammad with one of his own to the byline. Did get the shot away. A lot of contact. As Stefani will try and start the counter.
Well, I wanted to pause to make sure that play didn't have anything behind it, but for the Cosmos, they did finally get their first shot on target. They've been able to generate 4 shots now in this entire game. Of course, we saw in the first half 2 of those. So they have struggled, even with their final third entries, to continue to see the play through. The final service, the final pass, the final shot has been off the mark. That we haven't seen, if you think about it, anything threatening in 66 minutes of play from New York offensively. They've just been under so much pressure defensively that they haven't shown anything on the other edge of the field.
Barbosa, Washington lost it, gets it back right away. It's a good ball through, Kidd might be offside, has a check with the assistant, flag stays down. Here's Mateo Kidd, stinging the side netting.
And Mateo Kidd took a quick look across to make sure he was onside, had some options off of that feed from Titus Washington, elected to take it himself, but Portland still on the hunt for another goal, still attacking heavily.
eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now.
So there's a lot of people that are going to be looking to play some eFootball, pretending to be Ali Raider, JT Kamara, trying to recreate some of these goals that we've been seeing today.
Nearing the second half of the second half. Philip Galani, Renee Washington with you. 3-0 in favor of Portland in the rematch against New York. Ollie Wright at the double. Both goals provided by JT Kamara, who scored one of his own. As the Cosmos again look to find their way back into this one. Referee thought about the whistle. Play goes on. Guenzati poked away. Cabrera. Guenzati doesn't love the angle, tried it anyways. Cabrera to stand it up, decent ball. Chavez right back down. Now New York winning a lot of these knockdowns. Spengler will have a try, spilled by Morse. Kept in play. New York starting to get a little bit closer to finding themselves on the score sheet.
Without a doubt, they're doing a better job of just seeing the play through and making sure to be more composed in the final third to create something more threatening. Hunter Morris on that one had to do a little extra to make sure that as the ball squeezed out from his grasp, it didn't go through. So we are seeing more as of late after substitution and changes going in favor of the Cosmos.
Right on a hat trick, stopped by Noaker. Flip back toward Washington, on the volley. And that may go out for a throw, and it will.
Titus Washington thought about it. I mean, that volley is tough to hit from that angle on frame, but with the pace it had, you saw how much velocity it had going across the pitch. If that connects on frame, could be trouble. But for a guy that's been struggling to score, you don't mind him having the green lights and the confidence to take a chance like that.
Especially as a forward, being in a slump just mentally is so difficult to get out of. Kofi's cross cleared away. Titus Washington was in a similar slump at the start of last year, and during the game, head coach Bobby Murphy called him over and said, hey, this isn't your job, play for fun. And then he went and scored 3 goals in the next 2 matches.
That's a lot of, especially as a goal scorer, that's, you know, I can say from experience, it's tough when you are playing between and stuck between the ears. You have to just let the game develop, let it come to you instead of forcing opportunities. So I think that's something for Titus Washington, and honestly, this Portland side as a whole, they've been struggling with of getting out of their own head, and today feels like a massive step for them to just get back to free-flowing, fun soccer.
Well, their next test will be Fort Wayne. As again, Cosmos try and push the envelope. They'll travel to face them at Fort Wayne's new stadium in just 4 days, a midweek match. As far as New York, on the docket is a trip to the West Coast, take on AV Alta in 2 weeks' time. Of course, all USL League One matches available on ESPN+. Right with the no-look pass, Spengler read it. Big swing forward. Kofi in a foot race once again. Morris out of his area, as we saw in the first half. Confident sweeper keeper, Hunter Morris. That's a poor mistake, and it will fall kindly for Mateo Kidd. Bearing down for a fourth. Squares it across. Kunga trying to right the ship. And the chance goes begging for Portland.
I think Portland just got a little bit unsure of themselves in that last one, because you're gifted the ball in a great goal-scoring position, had options, had a lane, especially for Mateo Kidd. This time was unselfish to make the extra pass. I don't know. I think if I'm Mateo Kidd, I think he should have actually either pulled the trigger on that shot, or you have to take a little bit off that pass to give time for the opportunity to develop versus playing it so heavily.
Well, I'm sure, Renee, you can speak to this with your experience. Sometimes as a midfielder or an attacker, you see a chance like that, your eyes light up, deer in headlights, you get a rush of blood, and sometimes you overthink it, or you're so caught up in the moment that you can't keep your composure.
Sometimes you truly do have to just keep it simple and just go with the easy option, even if it's not the more creative, flashy one. But for Portland, I think you can be encouraged. They're still creating so many chances like that one off their pressure and movement.
The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Palazzo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Tristan Stefani has made the night more difficult for some poor ball kid to go chase that one.
I think that was headed down the highway as we speak. It had a lot to get out of the stadium.
Hopefully it doesn't get there.
Both goalies back-to-back plays just needed to be off their line, aggressive to help clear out that through ball that was getting played. Hunter Moore's got to give him credit. He's been doing it all game in the right times of picking and choosing his spots to be more aggressive off his line to get forward.
Hunter Moore's still looking for his second clean sheet of the season. It would be his first as a win.
Hasn't had to do as much as game, but when he's been called upon, whether it's with his feet with some of those heavier passes by the Cosmos or a couple of near chances on services and shots for New York, he has been very steady, consistent for Portland. So if you're Portland, not only are you trying to see if you can get that fourth goal, but you're looking to get your goalie the clean sheet with the win as well.
Crossed in towards Washington. Again, headed away as Chavez was full side. Only 2 corner kicks in that first half. And a flurry more in the second. All the way up to 6 total now. I think that's 7 corners now. Out-swinging delivery. Again, it doesn't get past the near post, which has been where Mateo Kidd has aimed most of these corner kicks. Again, not a common place to put them.
Well, when you do look at the corners that they've had, it has been tough in that placement.
Stefani's punch meets Kuhn Angeron. That one well wide.
I think for Mateo Kidd, you're trying to drop it into a spot in the 6 that your teammates can work to help finish it. You don't want to overhit it where it clears everyone. It goes too far. So just some things to work on for Portland. But the positive again is they are creating corners, creating chances for Mateo Kidd to have to step up and set them up on a set piece.
And again, look how many shirts Portland are getting forward. 77th minute, a 3-goal lead, but they're not keen to sit back.
And that's something that I would think for head coach Bobby Murphy, he's imploring upon his team. Don't play to the scoreboard. There's so much left in the season. And when you look across, I mean, today alone, there's a massive slate of games. There's so many games that teams still have to play. And we know in this league, the difference makers of 1 or 2 games being keeping you in or out of a playoff spot. So I think bigger picture, you do have to play this like it's 0-0, keep the intensity high so you can continue to fine tune and work on things in terms of momentum.
Jaden Jones-Riley will take the throw. Sidelined most of last year with an injury. Now his 3rd appearance of the campaign tonight, equaling his tally from his debut season with the Hearts. Lovely turn and pass through, but Kidd is offside. He doesn't seem to think so.
Well, also I was going to say, we've seen so much from Mateo Kidd out of the midfield in the second half. That in itself has been a bright spot for Portland because you do need other players to continue to pick and raise their level and pick their spots they can help contribute. We've seen some deep runs from him. We've seen, obviously, he's been on the ball for the corner kicks and services. So Mateo Kidd, someone that's been actively involved offensively for Portland in the second half.
Nick Zalaka has come off the bench in place of Massimo Monavito. He's got some updated instructions as well as Patrick Bowie will come on for Justin Milovanov. Bowie, the Ivorian, comes to New York by way of the Portuguese fourth tier. From the same town in the Ivory Coast as Didier Drogba and Wilfried Zaha.
We know for New York, they have been tinkering, still trying to figure things out in terms of formation, logistics around their roles. And so even though down 3-0, this is a chance for them to still see what can other guys add. Maybe there's someone that is a reserve that might be needing to have an elevated role to be higher up the depth chart. So still a chance to give some other guys opportunities.
Spengler. New York want to have life. He's the man they'll look for. Spengler will try his luck from that angle, near impossible. One more change for the Hearts of Pine. Konstantinos Georgialidis will be the fifth and final substitute as Ali Wright gets a hero's welcome to the technical area. Georgialidis with 1 goal to his name that he scored on his professional debut against New York.
Round of applause from the crowd for Ali Wright as he leaves. Some chance his way too.
Quick yellow card, and Spengler won't be able to get a quick restart because the referee has to take his notes.
Listen, you have to give time. Once the booking is issued, they have to write in their notepad. Before you can do anything, then you need a whistle too, once they make sure everything is all squared away. So had to bring out his handy-dandy notebook first before we could get this ball to play on.
Pretty obvious one there. Michel Poon-Angeron will pick up the booking. New York have almost everybody forward here. And you can see motioning more reinforcements into the 18-yard box.
Cosmos trying not to get shut out.
Crossed in and away. Cosmos have never been shut out this season. Even in their 3 losses to start the year, they scored at least 1 in all of them, and twice in the final one. Cut back in front, still loose. Noaker to the back post, Morse with the flying save, and tapped in by Guenzati. New York will not be denied, and the veteran gives the visitors the lifeline.
Well, the Cosmos still have not been shut out this season, and you just saw them really pressing forward for a goal. This one coming off of getting a lot of numbers in the box, and then just well done by Guenzati to just finish his run there and quickly scoops it up to go the other way. And Sebastian Guenzati, you see him on your right side here, just staying and drifting and staying involved around that play to be able to tap that one home. Honestly, one of the easiest goals a player will score, but it just comes from him finishing his run to finish that chance.
Sebastian Guenzati, longtime goal scorer with the Tampa Bay Rowdies, found the back of the net 59 times on 144 appearances. The man born in Uruguay, but moved to Queens at the age of 12. New York baller through and through. Gets one back for the Cosmos late in this one.
Well, after all this time, although the calendar may show May 2nd, it feels like we're back on March 14th because here we are yet again at a 3-1 scoreline in favor of Portland. Deja vu.
Nick Solanka who got the cross away. New York have some real momentum here.
They're not done yet. They're still looking for a second goal to keep things interesting. Again, there's time on the clock, anything is possible. I've seen a lot of teams be able to come back from a 2-goal deficit. 3 goals is difficult, not impossible, but they have been in this position before. All 3 of their losses, were games they conceded 3 goals, 3-1, 3-1, 3-2. They've been in this position. They've had 2-2 ties and 3-2 games they've won, so they're used to a high-scoring shootout, trying to make it that right now.
To their credit, they've created some good chances in the second half. Maybe another one here. Required a few hacks at it from the Hearts back line. Washington. This kid is upended. It will be a free kick. At Bellevue University, your success is the only thing that matters. That's why they offer education that's designed to help you achieve your next goal. Find out more at degrees.bellevue.edu/goals. Corner kick for Portland. They will be in no hurry. It will be Nick Mendonca who sportingly places the ball down.
Well, for New York, they're still trying to keep this alive as long as they can, and you have to manage the time and the clock, so wanting to hurry Kid along to get this ball back in play.
Stefani got a punch to it. Here's Poon Angeron along the floor. Falls right back to the skipper. Stinging the palms. Not a bad effort from Michel Poon Angeron on the rebound.
Well done by Michel Poon Angeron to just stay with it and was able to receive the rebound and keep it alive. And Portland just continues creating so many corner kicks from their aggression and pressure getting forward.
This one right into the heart of the box and a big collision. Referee's gonna stop it. Motion the training staff on. It's a yellow card straight away for Diogo Barbosa. That looked like a scary one, but looks like everything's okay.
Definitely was a very tough collision, and anytime it's above the neck, there's always the extra, oh goodness, yes. You look there again, and there's always extra precaution and make sure that it is nothing more serious, as we saw just a really scary look at first.
So as we stare down the tail end of this match, Patrick Bowie was the player down, the referee having a chat with him. It was 3 excellent Portland goals, and because there was a stoppage for a head injury, Bowie will have to go off the field and clear the necessary precautions, which he's not super happy about. But safety first, and with any sort of head injury, the signs are not always apparent, though I think he might be okay.
Well, you never know, and I know that's what they're telling him on the sideline. Head coach Davide Corti just saying, listen, you got to get checked out first before you can get cleared. He wanted to just step off the field and come right back. So head injuries, you do have to err on the side of precaution. Adrenaline is carrying you. You think you're fine, but especially up 3 in this game as Portland's up 3-1, that doesn't matter. The score doesn't matter. Your health is most important. I know he wants to get back on the pitch still, but they want to make sure he's okay first and foremost.
So New York will temporarily go down to 10. There will be players in even more space. We saw how much space Ollie Wright had for his 2 goals. As George Alitas is wide open. Got the cross away, flicked on and wide. Teo Kidd arriving late. And again, the time that Portland have had and the space they've had. Head coach Bobby Murphy told us earlier this week that sometimes the best thing to do when you have that sort of space is just stand still, stay in that space. He used a little bit of an interesting analogy, that you either are open or you're not. Washington open for a try to curl this one wide. As again, the defenders are backing off, but Portland taking that space when they're finding it. As Mateo Kidd will urge the crowd to its feet in the 90th minute.
They have to be excited about this product they're putting on display for their fans so far.
Chance for New York on the counter. Bowie is onside. Reinforcements arriving to his left. Bowie will try and go himself. Stumbling, going over, and no whistle. Now Georgialidis the other way. Big time sliding challenge, and the whistle will sound.
Bowie back on the pitch, looking to see if New York can get a second goal. Was on the hunt. And well done defensively by Portland. They just have been so consistently organized, not getting caught stretched out of position, making sure to close down the ball in transition, and that was another prime example. You look here, Bowie making that run forward, and they were able to spring him into open space with pace, getting forward at the back line, and just look at the patience here defensively. Well done to not only allow for Portland to slow things down, but also to give time for the help defender to step in to help out Mo Mohammed and make sure that 1v1 became a 2v1 in their favor.
Rivella pass settled by Zalanka. Wants the switch. Waited a moment. It's a good idea, but he hit the ball. Jones-Riley goes down. The referee will stop it once again. Seems to be all right.
Well, this is where, as we're into stoppage time, just the chippiness picking up, desperation settling in, and also for New York specifically, you're looking at yet another 3-1 deficit against Portland. Frustration, too, because although they came in with a different game plan, hoping for a different result, as of right now, it is the exact same result as the last game.
The same result in a very different manner, though. Remember, that first game was scoreless at halftime, and Portland was totally in the driver's seat for the first 45 minutes, and then really, well, look at the 50th minute too with the second goal from Ollie Wright.
That's a good point, not to mention the Cosmos did have the better of chances in this first meeting, whereas everything's really been all Portland.
Georgialidis looking for insurance. Chavez read the cutback. As of now, the Hearts of Pine catapult up the table into 5th. On 9 points, which will move the Cosmos down to 10th on 7. Remember, plenty of matches still to be played tonight. FC Naples and 1 Knoxville square off in a few minutes. Fort Wayne as well, hosting their first ever game on home soil in USL League One. This one will fly over the bar, and the referee will produce another yellow card. More cautions late. The whistle sounded already. Now into the final minute of the 4 at a minimum. Kamali Green, who was shown that caution a few minutes ago. We waited the confirmation as the Portland fans await jubilation. Give and go, back in front, smothered by Hunter Morse.
Well, for New York, they've been creating more chances in the later part of this game, but too little too late, that it took them 75% of the game essentially to get going. At that point, you were already chasing at the time a 3-0 deficit. You were able to score the 1. So there are some areas they can pull from of how can they put together a complete game, energy, intensity, possession, all the things they've talked about from start to finish.
Portland power their way to 3 points. The Hearts of Pine are back in the win column for the first time since the season opener against New York. Davide Corti and his side fall short on the road by a score of 3-1. A statement win at a sold-out Fitzpatrick Stadium. The ground rocking from the first kick to the final whistle as Portland stay undefeated playing soccer in Maine. Our man of the match presented by LLB, none other than Mr. Ollie Wright.
Ollie Wright with now 3 goals, 2 assists on the season. The team has 7 goals in league play, so his goal contributions have been massive. And today, the biggest of the season so far, all 3 goals he had a hand in. 2 goals for the brace, an assist on that first goal by JT Kamara was the difference maker. Honestly, you can make the case for JT to also be man of the match, but if you had to choose, Ollie Wright really set the tone early. We highlighted him pregame, and he delivered all throughout the game to execute.
Well, it's the newly discovered bowling prodigy with 2 strikes tonight. All 3 points for Portland. 3-1 the final. Post-game show on the other side of the break.
Watches have always held a special place in the way we mark accomplishment. Even long before wristwatches existed, pocket watches were treasured belongings, passed down from one family member to the next. If you're celebrating a milestone or creating one, we'd love to help you find the timepiece that marks it. Visit us in-store, try on your favorites, and let's find that timepiece that will tell your story for years to come.
This is you. When you sign up for Trellis Health, this is your team. Seriously, these people. At Trellis, your primary care provider, physical therapist, pharmacist, health coach, and behavioral health clinician work together for better results. With same-day visits and 24/7, 365 telehealth, your care is primary with us. Become a member today.
Welcome to Trellis Health.
Visit trellishealth.org.
At PAPE, we've dedicated over 50 years to making sure you do better. That means better prices you can always count on. It means you'll find extensive inventory. It means you can expect top-notch service. And most of all, it means you'll work with a team that listens to what you need and makes it a priority. So why are we so driven to make sure you do better? Because at PAPE, the only thing we love more than cars is people.
Saturday night's all right at Fitzpatrick Stadium. 3-1 the final in the rematch between Portland and New York. The exact same score, but a very different story of how we got here. Let's take a look at
enough for them to be able to cut into the deficit for a comeback.
We spoke about the shooting disparity at halftime. In the second half, to their credit, New York managed to go forward a couple of times, only the one goal, but again, 22-9. At the end of the day, it was Portland's day.
Portland took care of business. The shots on target, 6-4 in their favor. Possession, although even, 11 corners that we had the Chintzy Mateo kid on the corner taking. They just were consistent, they were relentless, and they were clinical to put the ball away.
So that will do for us here tonight at Fitzpatrick Stadium. Portland stay undefeated on home soil with an emphatic 3-1 win over the New York Cosmos. For everybody behind the scenes making this broadcast possible tonight, our producer Emma Knuff and broadcast partner Renee Washington, I'm Phil Galati saying so long, thanks so much for joining us, and have a great rest of your weekend. Good night!
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.